And tonight I'll talk to you about Proposition 62 and 66. Proposition 62 and 66 deal with the California death penalty. Proposition 62 eliminates the death penalty, and Proposition 66 modifies the process to create a more efficient path from conviction to execution. Proposition 62 is sponsored by Mike Farrell, and Proposition 66 is sponsored by Kermit Alexander. The failure under the current system in carrying out the death penalty is that it results in decades of delay. The problem is addressed by Proposition 62 in eliminating the death penalty. The problem is addressed by Proposition 66 in the modification of the process of the appeals conviction. The fiscal impact of Proposition 62 is an estimated reduction of expenses of $150 million annually within the first few years. The fiscal impact of Proposition 66 is unknown as it relates to the state court costs, but it's estimated that prison savings could be in the tens of millions of dollars annually. The meaning of a yes vote of Proposition 62 is no offenders could be sentenced to death by the state for first-degree murder. The most serious penalties available would be prison term of life imprisonment without the possibility of parole. Offenders who currently under the sentence of death will be resentenced to life without the possibility of parole. And the meaning of a yes vote for Proposition 66 changes the court procedure for legal challenges to the death sentence, such as putting trial courts in charge of initial petitions, known as habeas corpus, instead of the California Supreme Court, establishing time limits for challenges, revised rules, and increasing the number of available attorneys to those challenges. And then it exempts prison officials from the regulatory process for developing execution methods. The meaning of a no vote, both for Proposition 62 and Proposition 66, would result in no change in the current process related to those sentenced to death. If both pass, the propositions that has the most votes will prevail. So those in favor of Proposition 62 are Joanne Woodruff, a former death row warden, Donald Heller, attorney of California death penalty, Beth Webb, the sister of a victim murdered in 2011, and those opposed are Mark Class, father of a 12-year-old victim, Polly Class. And the polling on Proposition 62 is currently at 62% yes and 26% no. And currently Proposition 66 in its polling is 49% yes and 46% no. And those in favor of Proposition 66 are the Republican parties, the Polly Class Foundation, and those opposed are the ACLU, Jared Huffman, and the Catholic and Lutherans of California.